Hello people, how are we? Hello viewers, back down in the shed again, and this time I have switched the camera. I've flipped it round. It's on my desk so that the background's slightly different. You know, I like to mix things up a little bit now and then. This video is entitled about selling golf apparel, and the reason why I've done that is I'll start by telling you a little bit about some of the golf stuff that I've sold this week. But you sometimes do have to go back to the drawing board and have a look at how you were selling stuff and what you could do to maybe maximize profits. And that's certainly the case in this case. I mean, basically, is it worth doing? One of the things that I say is try, when you are reselling, try to resell stuff that has an interest for you. I mean, I'm a golfer myself. I enjoy playing golf. So yeah, this does have an interest to me. So I'll start this video by talking about some of the golf stuff that I've sold this week, mainly because the markup, the margins on golf polos, I am finding are beginning to get squeezed. I'm certainly finding that people are making bids of a lower level for really good quality golf polos as compared to last year and maybe the year before. My name's James Smith, and this is video in, on and gone, video 40. There, we've reached another 10 milestone. Excellent. I didn't really know how many of these videos I would do when I started them last April, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Yeah. In these videos, the In, On and Gone series, I talk about the stuff that's coming into the store, the stuff that's on the store, and the stuff that's gone from the store. When I say gone, I'll split that into two categories. The stuff that's gone quickly, within 7 days, promoted at 2%, unless I say otherwise, and also some sales that I've had this week that I feel are educational and you need to know about. So without any further ado, let's start looking at the stuff that is sold this week. Oh, the on is easy from the In, On and Gone. Look at the link to my store below. That's the simplest part. Now we're going to go to the gone. Okay, let's have a look. So I will start with the golf stuff. From the gone anyway, there's 11 that I've sold this week. So my usual target is 10. It's 11, so I've surpassed it. Brilliant. Okay, that's brilliant news. But from the golf polos, there's 3 of them. They're all Under Armour. As I say, I want these videos to be educational for you and to make you aware of what brands are strong. Under Armour is a very, very strong brand. It's probably one of the strongest. I'm going to do a video on branding, I think, and I've got some ideas and philosophies on why it's such a strong brand. So subscribe to the channel, you'll know when that video comes out. But this was a pink striped Under Armour golf polo that I'd sourced off Vinted. Okay, the 3 that I'm going to show you have been sourced off Vinted. And £4.84. All right, I took an offer, including postage, of £11. That gave me £6.21 back, £1.37 profit. Okay, that's 28%. Yeah, I aim for between 50 and 100%, but on these golf polos, I'm not getting them. Okay, I haven't had a 50% markup on a golf polo for quite some time, and that's why I'm saying that the margins are getting squeezed. So, you know, what can I do about it? Because if we go to another golf polo, this is another Under Armour. Okay, it was a nice grey one. All of these were large in size, and again, £4.84. Okay, I paid for it. This one, I took an offer of £10.60, including postage, £5.55 back after fees and postage, 71 pence profit, which is 14%. So, you know, squeezed. You might be saying to yourself, well, why not wait for a higher offer? It's not going to... These are the offers that are coming in, and really what I've got to do is I've got to look at maybe sourcing them at even less than the £4.84 that I'm paying. That's where the potential to maybe reach that 50% comes from. I mean, there's another one here. It was a green one, and £4.84 again. I paid for it. £9.60 I took on that one. £4.69 back, and that was a 15 pence loss. Okay, at 3%. loss. So maybe I could have held out for a little bit more there. You know, and that it was a mistake on my part. That really does show you that you've really got to know your margins and your markups before you accept an offer. I knew at £9.60 I would be there or thereabouts, but you know, slightly wrong with my calculation. However, I mean, you might be thinking, hang on, Smithy, you've just shown us three things and there's not really much profit there. Overall, from those three, there is profit, okay, overall, but we're not talking huge numbers here, okay? However, it brings eyes to your store. This is what I always say. And there's sales of this nature. A pair of Adidas equipment, EQT, golf shoes. They were size 10s, okay? And I managed to clean them up brilliantly, okay? They cleaned up. They almost look brand new, all right? They cleaned up absolutely beautifully. £4, £5.55 I sold those for, okay? And £23.60 was the offer that I took on them. £16.81 back, £11.26 profit in the end, which is 202% markup. Okay, super, really, really good, really pleased with that. So, yeah, what can I do? What can I do to maximize the profits on the golf polos? And as well, I'm now going to tell you a little bit of a story about sourcing these things. The first thing I'm going to do on those golf polos is look at the postage costs. All right. At this present moment in time, I use Royal Mail, and it is the most expensive one. Okay. For a small parcel, which these golf polos are categorized as, I can't flatten the golf polos down enough to be less than 2.5 centimeters to have them considered as a large letter. With some t-shirts you can do that, but if the t-shirts have a collar on them, it's virtually impossible, okay? Or you literally have to send the t-shirt like not even folded, and you can't do that because I suppose I could put a bit of supporting cardboard in there, but that is a bit of faff. So anyway, it's with Royal Mail, it's £3.25. However, with Every, it's £2.96. And I do have a little corner shop literally just down the road that I can go to that takes Every parcels. So the first thing I'm going to do with golf polos is send them Every. All right. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why are you sticking with Royal Mail? There's two reasons. Firstly, it's convenience. I can just print out the labels and just put them into a post box. And also on my way to work, there is, because this is a side hustle, okay, it's not my main income, there is a drop postage box and it works fine. That works brilliantly. I can just, it is so convenient to be able to do that. However, I'm selling about 80 things a month. So if you think about it, 30 pence difference, or roughly 30 pence difference for each parcel. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. So yeah, maybe I've got to start looking at Every a little bit more. One of the reasons though why I'm sticking with Royal Mail is for the convenience, and if I can prove to them that I am selling over 80 parcels a month, or if I'm sending them out over 80 a month, then they can give me discounted rates. So, but I've sort of like been stuck at this 80 now for about 4 or 5 months. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use Every for certain parcels, especially golf polos, and yeah, just go from there. And then that will boost those percentage markups just that little bit more. So why am I bothering? Why am I doing this? It's all down to the vintage bundles. You just saw then that I spoke about a pair of golf shoes that I sourced at a decent price, £5.55, and sold for £23.60, including postage. Obviously, there's fees and everything on that, but I did make 202% on them. Now, when you're on Vinted, the most effective way of buying things is buying in bundles. Okay, not just one thing, but a couple of things. And what that does is it maximizes the potential for your postage cost. You're not paying, say if you've got a £3.25 postage cost and you're buying one product, then that is that £3.25 for one product. But you can add more. So therefore the postage cost for that one product will then come down. Say if you buy 4 things. With golf shoes, which do have a lot of markup, especially the ones I'm looking for are the ones with no rips or tears in that I can clean up nicely. Okay, and you normally find that they sell quite well, especially at this time of year. However, I want to add a few more things to those golf shoes. The chances of having a vintage seller that has more than one pair of golf shoes on the go, it's quite low. So if you can add some apparel to the bundle that you're going to make a little bit of profit on, just to maximize that postage a little bit, it's worth doing. So if you look at the whole bundle that I got there, then there is definite profit in that bundle. So all of those things that I mentioned, they were part of a vintage bundle. The shoes and the 3 polos cost me 20 quid, and I got £13.26 back on them. A majority of that was the shoes, but the polos just added that little bit on. And if I do the every send instead of the raw mail, then that would have added a little bit more to that 13 quid. So it's £13.26. What are we talking? 20, about 28 pence difference. So it would have been, yeah, about £14 profit if I would have used every. You know, it's little bits here and there, but they all add up. They all add up. And, you know, there's just a couple of quid that's been got from just adding things to that bundle. But to do this, you've got to have your listing sorted. Okay, you've got to have your listing effective. You've got to have basically your listings set up in a way that can maintain accuracy, but at the same time be quite quick. And these were all large Under Armour golf polos, so what I could do was literally do one and then just copy the other 2 and then just change the color and just make sure that the measurements matched up. That was the accuracy that I was looking for. So really, there wasn't really that much work involved in it, and it got me an extra couple of quid. And if you keep doing that, it does begin to add up. These are the things that are on your store. These are the things that are getting eyes to your store. And also you can put those golf polos, because they sell quite quickly, on Facebook Marketplace as well, and use those as a driver to get eyes to your eBay store. It's not all just eBay. You can use the eBay as a hub and then have things coming into it from other sources such as Facebook Marketplace. There's plenty of groups wherever you are in the country about golf equipment. Okay, like I'm South Wales based, so there's Facebook groups called South Wales Golf Equipment. If you live in Cornwall, there'll be Cornwall Golf Sales. If you live in Yorkshire, there'll be Yorkshire Golf Sales Facebook groups as well. So they are certainly worth putting stuff onto, and you might even be able to get somebody to come round and pick it up, and then you don't have any postage costs then, so you're maximizing profit even more. So my answer to my title, or if you're going to put my title as a question, is it worth looking at selling golf equipment that has not really that good markup as such as golf polos? There are ways around that you've really got to sit down and think about. When there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way. So that's the golf stuff done. There was only 4 things though, and I said there was 11, so there's more to come. And the first thing I'm going to tell you about is, you know I mention it so often, it's Marks and Spencer's again. All right, these wool blend trousers, or these wool trousers, sell really, really well, and you can usually pick them up at a decent price. Especially the sort of ones, if you've got an industrial estate, and the charity shops are going into more and more of these industrial estates. And industrial estate isn't the right word, retail park. The sort of like places where you've got like the Marks and Spencer's, you've got Boots, and you've got big car park that you can, you know, just park in and just go to, but it's not in the city centre. You normally find that there are some charity shops, especially Cancer Research, that have really big units there with a lot of stuff in. Now, the trousers, I mean, the one that I'm thinking of in my head, the trousers, there's absolutely loads of them, and they're all priced at like £3, £3.50. And so if you go through those trousers, yeah, you've got the ones at 100% polyester. Yeah, I don't really use those, but certainly the ones that are wool and wool blend, they're the ones that you can pick out. And if they're in good nick, they're worth getting. Absolutely worth getting. Because if you think about it, many people have office jobs. These are what I would call workwear trousers, or also they could be used as smart trousers as well for occasions. So wool or wool blend trousers, especially the wool blend trousers, because you can chuck them in the washing machine without shrinking them, are ones that go quite well. These I paid £3 for. Got £12.60 back, £7.14 after fees, £4.14 profit, 138%. That's a really, really good sale, and one that I'm really, really pleased about. So there are some resellers that swerve Marks and Spencers and think that it's just not worth getting. It is, and I'm those of you that watch my videos regularly are probably getting quite bored with the fact that I normally mention them. But as I say, I'm being honest, and I'm talking about all the stuff that I've sold this week. So I have, and it's been within the 7 days, so I'm going to mention it. That's a good one. Next one, I'm denied about this one. It got me thinking a little bit, because I thought they were a little bit overpriced for what they were. They were a pair of Reebok Easy Tone trainers, and I did look on eBay because they were £8 that I sourced them for. I did look on eBay, and like there were some that were going for like £20, but I didn't think they were going to get that. Even though they were in nice nick, even though they looked really good and they'd hardly been worn, I was like, nah, 20 isn't going to get it. But I was prepared to give it a try, and just see how they did. Took an offer of £16.10, all right, which gave me £10.43 back, £2.43 profit, 30%. So, yeah, they sell, all right, they sell, not at £20 though, if you want to move them quick. And really, the storage that I have for shoes isn't the biggest storage. Maybe if I had a bigger area to store my shoes. In fact, if I move, you can see it there. That's where I'm storing my shoes. So if you can imagine an IKEA bookcase with like dividers put in, and I think I've got 4 shelves. So it's not the biggest place that I've got to store my shoes. So I want to move them quick. So 30% within a week I'll take. But yeah, if I ever get another pair of these and they're £8, I might have a think about it. Next up, pair of Clarks. This is more like it. This is more like the ones that I like. They're a pair of Trigenic ankle boots. Clarks Trigenic sell and sell well. And you can tell just by looking at them that there's a bit of thought that's gone into their construction, and they're comfortable. You can see that they do look like a comfortable pair of shoes. These were a pair of ladies like Chelsea style ankle boots, and I paid £5 for them. That's a bit better. All right, £5, that's a good price for them. £15.60 I took on those. That gave me £9.70 back. Okay, so a profit of £4.70, 94%. That's more like it. That's better than the 30%, obviously, that I got on the Trigenics for Reebok. But always try new things. You've got to do that. You've got to put it out there to see how it does. As opposed to just thinking to yourself, nah, they're not going to sell, I'm just putting them back. Give it a whirl. All right, always give it a whirl. So yeah, those nice, pleased Clarks, especially Clarks bread and butter, like the normal pair of Clarks shoes that haven't got any sort of name associated to them, like Clarks instead of Clarks Trigenic being the name associated with, would take a bit of time to sell. But Clarks like Trigenic, or Clarks especially in association with Gore-Tex, sell and sell very, very quickly. Another good name to look out for is Vibram. Vibram soles, no matter what they are on, because they're in conjunction with a lot of brands. And Mountain Warehouse, nice pair of Walking shoes, I'm finding at the moment walking shoes are selling really, really quickly because obviously the warmer weather's coming in. People want to go out for walks, springtime walks, summertime walks, autumn walks. It's like the season starter, isn't it, as we're in springtime at the moment. These were a nice pair, and I got them for a fiver, £13.60, £7.83 total back. Okay, £2.83 profit, 56%. So it's between the 50 and 100. Okay, I will sell those all the time. It's what comes in, quickly goes out. Walking shoes, if you can source them for a fiver, they will nearly always sell for round about the £12 to £13 mark. There's a 50% markup that you make there after all the fees are taken off. So it's certainly worth doing. Next up, it was a clock radio. Now, I don't source many of these, and this was priced at £4. It was a Sony Dream Machine. If you could pick up a clock radio that has got a decent name on it, such as Sony, 5 is probably my cut-off point. From this experience, maybe 4. I did have a look, and they were selling for around about a tenner. I sourced this at £4 and sold it with postage for £10.60. £5.18 back, £1.18 profit, 30%. Not the best, but it's 30% within a week, and it's got a few more eyes to my store. Maybe one of those people could go and buy something else. I don't know, but you know, I think what I'm really trying to show with this, because I'm getting some people coming back to me in my comments and saying you're selling too low. I just want to get in and I just want to get gone. That's my philosophy. So I'll 30%. I don't think I would have got much more for it. That it maybe is one that I could sell or put through the every postage instead of the Royal Mail, just to boost that 30 up to like close to 40, 35 to 40. But yeah, they're worth doing though. They'll sell for round about the £8 to £10 mark. So yeah, there's another bit of information for you. 2 more left to talk to you about. White Stuff, really strong brand, excellent brand to pick up. I very rarely fail with White Stuff, and I think people's perception of White Stuff is that it's well made and it's going to last for a long time. These were a pair of wool blend trousers, 32 regular, that I picked up for £3.25. All right, they sold for £13.40, £7.82 back, £4.57 profit for me, which is 140% markup. So that is sourcing at a decent price, £3.25, of a decent brand, White Stuff, and it gets you decent profits because this was over 100%. So yeah, White Stuff all day. Really good stuff, especially like the quarter zip tops, the trousers, the polo shirts. They usually sell pretty well. So if you can source anything with a White Stuff name on for under a fiver, I'd certainly would, and it's in good condition, I certainly would consider picking it up. And the last one want to tell you about the 7-day sellers. This one was a punt. This one was, yep, we'll take it home, see if it works. It was a Novag computer chess, little travel computer chess game. And it was only £1. So I thought, I had no idea whether it worked. I had no idea whether it turned on or not. I didn't really have enough. I didn't have the batteries to test it with in the shop. But you might be thinking to yourself, well, why pick it up then? But checking on eBay, these are going for about 30 quid. So there is markup there from the £1. So it's worth taking it home and trying it. Okay, now if it doesn't work, you've got 2 choices. You can either take it back to the shop that you got it from, get your £1 back, or you can sell it as spares and repairs. And that's exactly what I did. I put it on saying, look, I put the batteries in, I can't get it to work. There are some boffins out there, and I do enjoy watching these YouTube videos of people that take things apart and fix them and then sell them on eBay. There's a huge market for this. Electronics that are broken. And this fell into that. So I only bought it for £1, but I put it on, said that it was broken, said that it needs spares and repair. That's why it's in spares and repairs. It just doesn't turn on. £8.60 somebody offered for it. £3.43 back, £2.43 profit for me. Okay, and so that's 143%. You know, so yeah, we're not talking huge numbers, but again, it's that little bit, and those little bits grow. All right, because you know, I want to be selling 20, 30 things a day. That's what I'm trying to aim towards. And I think my average parcel is it's getting me about £4 at the moment. So if I can get it out to 20 or 30, then that's turning into a good little thing, good little number. That is one source of income. As I say, I fully believe the future. If you've got any kids, and one thing that I'm trying to say to my own kids is that I see the future as not just one source of income coming into your bank account. I believe that you've got to set up quite a few sources of income. Because there's so much opportunity out there now to get sources of income. Now, this is one of, so you could say eBay's one of my sources of income, and the YouTube channel. Okay, if I get monetized, I'm at 750-ish subscribers at the moment. I hope I'm giving you information that you like and that you enjoy. Okay, and if I get up to the 1,000 and it still grows, because there's plenty of reselling channels out there that are in that position, then that's another source of income. I could then put money that I get from that into dividend stocks, get dividends. That's another source of income. It's things like that that you've got to start to think about, especially me. Okay, I like to say that I can't say I'm in my late 40s anymore. I'm afraid I have reached it. It was a milestone last year, but yeah, I'm seriously thinking now about the next 20 years and how I'm going to fund the next 20 years. As I say, I'm a full-time teacher at the moment. I don't particularly want to be that for the next 20 years. It will break me. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing at the moment. Here we go. Right, I'm now going to tell you about some sales this week that were longer than 7 days, but I feel that you need to know about. Figures then for those 11 that I sold in under 7 days. £49.32 spent. Okay, £90 25 back. That's £40.93 profit, which is a markup of 79%. So I'm going for the 50 to 100. So each and every markup that I tell you about, that I average out, what I do is those 11 that I've just told you about, I'll add them all up and divide by 11. And it's given me 79%. So that falls pretty much smack into the middle of the 50 to 100 markup that I go for. And the reason why I go for it is because I feel it's realistic. There are some that are saying it's too low. You can get higher than that. Well, yeah, maybe I could, but again, cash flow, you've got to consider that as well. So yeah, that's for this week. I'm pleased with those figures. First up is a pair of Adidas shorts. Now, obviously, summer's coming. All right, people are looking at getting shorts, and we went on like a holiday last year, and I was thinking, yeah, I need a few more pairs of shorts. And I just had a quick pop into Sports Direct. I was quite surprised, actually. You're talking like, for a pair of Adidas shorts, you're talking 25 quid. I was expecting more like 15, 16. And it made me think, ooh, it made me second think. And then I went back to eBay and just got them from eBay. They're the sort of things you've got to think about. The things that you're looking at in shops that are actually a little bit more expensive than what you think they should be, have a look on eBay, see how much they go for. There's a potential market for you if you're looking at doing some reselling. And so this was definitely something. Now, these shorts were in good condition. The photographs have got to show that they're in good condition. I picked them up for £3 and sold them for £11.60. And so what's that? £6.20 back, £3.20 with the £3 taken off, 106%. Boom. All right. And that's all because I realised I'm picking up shorts now, especially ones that are only £3. Certainly during the winter when charity shops are saying, oh, it's a pair of shorts. Who's going to buy a pair of shorts in November? Get them. all right, because you don't have to hold them for that long for the price to start to go up on them. Where are we now? We are early March, so I've only had to keep them for 4 months. I put them on last month. They've sold, you know, I think it took about 30 days to sell. So yeah, that is a good sale, and certainly one that you should be considering. Next up, home medical electrical equipment. What do I mean by that? Things like blood pressure monitors, and this was a blood pressure monitor. Also like compression boots. These sell, and they sell quite well. I mean, it's small, so you can hold it, you can keep it. It's not something that's going to sell quickly, but it is certainly something that you can hold out for a decent price. And again, this one was about branding because it was a Siemens one. And Siemens, in terms of blood pressure monitors, are pretty much up there as one of the top manufacturers of them. So I sourced it for £8, and it took about 6 months, but I sold it for £23.60. That gave me £17.12 back, £9.12 profit. Okay, 114%. So I made 114%, and you know, nearly like a tenner profit on it. So yeah, really pleased with that one. Home medication, especially if you are somebody who has high cholesterol and needs to monitor your blood regularly, that's the sort of stuff that people are looking on eBay for. And there, it is purely the name, I feel, that got that sale. If it was made by some sort of like factory churned out Chinese one, maybe the sort that you would get on Temu, maybe it wouldn't have gone for that sort of price. But yeah, that was a good sale. Next up, always be aware that people are looking for different things and different styles in their kitchens. So if you can come across something that certainly screams a certain era of kitchenware, and they're in good condition, they are worth picking up. This one said to me 60s, 70s. Okay, it was a J.A.J. Pyrex Checkers casserole dish. There'll be a photograph coming on now. And hopefully those that were alive, who are watching this, that were around in the 60s and 70s, I'm hoping that you agree with me, because that's the sort of era that I put to these things. And this only cost me £2, and I sold it for £10.60. All right, they gave me £5.43 back, £3.43 profit, so that's 171%. So these sort of things are worth picking up, and I think it just gives people just that little bit of a reminder, that little bit of a memory about what used to go on in the kitchen all that time ago. Yeah, that was a good little pickup. So yet again, there's something for you there to have half an eye out for. I mean, sourcing that at £2, that's not bad. You will sometimes hear resellers talking about something called a death pile, okay? It does sound a little bit extreme, and it does sound a little bit more serious than what it actually is. Basically, what a death pile is stuff you haven't listed yet. And some resellers' death piles can be quite high. At the moment, mine is taking up the whole space that is underneath the table that this camera is on. I need to get it sorted. I need to get it on. So I haven't actually been out sourcing this week. I'm really concentrating now on stuff that I'm putting onto the eBay shop that I have. It's stuff like these trainers, okay. It's the Adidas, is it Oswego? Yeah, Adidas Oswego trainers. You can see there, it's just a little bit of dirt there. Okay, just a rub with a bit of alcohol will take that off and just make the trainers look even nicer. And that's worth doing. That is worth doing, because then it makes the trainers photograph a little bit better. So really, there's just a lot of trainers that I'm putting on this week. And, you know, there's, oh, here we go. What else is this? I'm talking about retro stuff. Look at that. Who remembers butter dishes, cheese dishes like this, stainless steel. Again, okay, I would say 60s, 70s, maybe 50s as well. Okay, these things, I mean, as I say, I'm 50. So everybody from my generation, everybody's now had one of these, surely. But again, you could put these on as retro, and I paid £1.50 for this. I think it will go for more than that. All right, I think it will. Because it's in good condition. There's no dents in it or anything like that. You can see there, look for the marking. You can just see there, that says stainless steel on it. Okay, it also says made in Hong Kong. But it is stainless steel. And as well, look, I've got here a Swatch watch there, ladies Swatch watch with like a matching bracelet as well. And I got it on the little cushion, so that'll make presenting that quite nice. I sourced it for £10. I've never really sold these before, so this is my punt of the week, really. Was £10 too much for it? I don't know. But if I look on the back, there's like a number on it, 826. So that's where I'm going to start my research on how much I'm going to put this product on for. So yeah, there's things coming into the shop this week, but really the sourcing is going to stop over the next few weeks because there is a lot. All of that needs doing. A lot of stuff that needs to be put on. Okay, so it's been a pleasure. All right, it's been a pleasure. My next video, I think what I'm going to discuss is the power of branding. Little video about that. I have mentioned it in the past that I think I need to do a video on branding, because purely it is based upon, look, you've got two identical polo shirts. One is marked as Slazenger, one is marked as Under Armour, but they're two identical ones. Which one are you going to buy? And really, it's going to be the Under Armour one. Okay, now you might be talking about price as well. I mean, we could say both at the same price. Which one are you going to buy? What is it that gets in our heads that makes us go for the Under Armour one? Because the Slazenger one might be just as decent. All right, but so really, the video is going to be based upon why we need to think of stuff like this and what to look out for just when you're just on just like a general walkabout in the middle of a town or city. Okay, always keep your eyes open, always keep having a look at what people are doing, what people are wearing, what people are using. You've got to do that if you want to be a successful reseller. Right, I could talk forever on that one. Okay. But for the time being, I am going to shut up. All right. It's been a pleasure. All right. But for the time being, this is Smithy out. Have a lovely week. See you in On and Gone 41.